We don't do that here.
But the queen rise to the top.
So it was a friend of mine. It was her birthday on the 17th, so we went out on the 14th. And I don't know where it happened, but I got a really nasty case of bronchitis. And
oh no,
today is the first day I'm not feeling like I'm gonna die if I talk for an extended period of time.
Well, that's good.
Yeah, very fortunate. In all the recent editings, you can hear me speaking normally in the audio, but then when I do any intro or outro stuff, I sound like horse shit. Man, guess I'll be pulling out of UFC 303 as well.
Yeah, you and everyone else. Did you see that Carlos Ulberg is out now?
No, what the fuck?
Yeah,
is going
he
on?
pulled out too. Like the fight is like completely different.
Yeah, I was updating the outline to make sure I had everything that's current, and this is a completely different card. Very few fights are the same.
It's somehow gotten better as a card as a result. Although I worry about how we're gonna look at the aftermath of some of these. Like, I don't know, everyone's on short notice, so in that sense it's like fair game, but it's still like, I don't know, you get some weird results on when this happens.
All right, let's do the goddamn thing. All right, boogie time. Fucking ultimate casuals. We need a K letter. Casual Kings, would that work? I don't know. The ultimate fucking casual. We're back, all up in your grill with fucking MMA talk. It's me and the homie Nathan. Oh boy, I'm recovering from near death. Nathan, how are you feeling today on this beautiful June Sunday?
I'm feeling good. Tired from yesterday. I spent all day exploring the great outdoors, and now I'm recovering from that decision. So,
yeah, outdoors does not sound fun right now. For me anyway, but being out here, maybe if it's nighttime, it'll be somewhat enjoyable.
Is it over 100 degrees yet?
Oh, it's been over 100 degrees for a few weeks now.
Really?
Yeah.
I think it was like 98 yesterday where we were at.
And I'm sure that's very enthralling for dear listeners. Enjoy that old man weather talk. But let's get some. There was a big boxing event. I'm gonna try to build up more the regiment, the crosstalk with B-sides here. So we've been doing it regularly on Ultimate Casual, but excuse me. Let's Tank Davis, right? One of the premier stars of the sport right now. I'm really trying to think, because how do I phrase it? Every time there's a Tank fight, this is just how he is. He starts off slow. Like, he takes his time to feel things out. He kind of lets people get a false sense of security, and then he pounces when they make a mistake. This happens every time, and I don't. What is it that keeps people saying for the first 5, 6, 7 rounds, Tank sucks. Tank is garbage. He can't even fight. He doesn't know what to do. He's completely perplexed. How many have you never seen Tank fight before? I don't understand where this misconception comes from. You have any ideas?
Yeah, well, I think we tend to rate boxers on not just how exciting they are, but how active they are. And so, like, someone like Manny Pacquiao, right? He's constantly throwing punches and combinations, and he's very flashy, right? And so I think people associate that sort of style with being a good boxer, when, like, there's a lot of ways to skin a cat here. Like, Tank, I mean, is very exciting, but like he doesn't create his action through high activity, right? He doesn't set up his shots by peppering you with jabs and, mixing up his punches. He, sits behind his high guard and he, figures out, hey, how am I going to walk this guy back to the ropes? And then each round after that is, you'll see him mix in feints and he'll start parrying punches more, and eventually he'll actually find his shot. So it's just a different way of approaching a fight, but it's one that inherently does lose rounds. Like if the fight were to get stopped after the 5th round,
he'd lose.
Tank could have lost plenty of his fights, but that's why they fight for 12 rounds.
Even with someone who is not a very likable character, I say character because I think it's an act, but like Raleigh, nobody really cares for him and his antics. And even with him, it was the same thing. Everyone's just giving him the benefit of the doubt the whole time, like he's in complete control right now. Like, dog, you've seen Tank fight before. You see this happen every single time. I don't know what the hell's wrong with you to think that this one's going to be different, or like for whatever reason, Tank is not going to figure out what to do at some point and start throwing punches, even if it doesn't succeed. Just for the sake of argument, he's still going to find a spot where he's going to start throwing.
Right. And I think some of this comes from, Tank probably gets lumped in with like other one-hit wonders. Like even though he's so much more technical, his style does resemble someone who's more, I think I have one big punch I can beat you with, and I just need to land it, right? Like a very untechnical kind of approach to fighting. And Tank is that to a degree, but he's actually breaking down his opponent technically and figuring out where can I land this really intelligent shot. He's not just banking on landing a big right hand ending the fight. He's like, how do I set up this winning sequence here? How do I position my opponent correctly? And that's like kind of the difference. So people see it as like unintelligent boxing when really he's doing a lot without showing a lot. I guess if that makes sense.
No, that does make a lot of sense. The being lumped in with the one punch types that don't have a whole lot of ability behind it, Deontay Wilder-esque, I suppose. And he's also outside of the ring. He's a little bit of he sounds kind of dumb, like just the way he talks, but I mean, like he's an inner city kid. He grew up in a really rough neighborhood, so I'm not sure what you expect, but I suppose.
I mean, Mayweather proved to us you don't have to read to be a
right.
multi-division boxing champion. So,
multi-venture, multi-millionaire. Yeah, you don't have to have a PhD in literature or anything like that. I've used the term, the downloading term that everybody likes to use, and everybody, like, it was like round 3 or 4. Like, man, this is just the Tank download. It happens every single time. And somebody said, like, Tank has a single digit IQ. He doesn't download anything. Like, okay, well, we'll see where you're at in a few rounds. And the majority of people disappear immediately after the stoppages. Like, bro, are you fucking new here?
Yeah.
God.
I don't know. I think I don't know why. Maybe it was just I didn't like his attitude, but for a little bit there, I wasn't a big Tank supporter. But like ever since the Leo Santa Cruz fight, I was like, okay, this guy's really, really good. I'm not going to be a hater his whole career. I'm just going to embrace it.
Yeah, just go with it, man. Like, you're witnessing something special. Maybe not, I don't know. Maybe not an all-timer. I don't know. Maybe, probably, but just enjoy it while you can. Same thing with, like, Lomachenko, bro. Just enjoy what you're watching. Yeah, but speaking of which, Tank Davis, he and Lomachenko are in talks right now. They hold 2 of the major titles at 135, and from all reports, the talks are going really well. So we might be getting that before the end of the year. It's an amazing fight. I'm really happy it's happening finally. But a few years too late, maybe.
I was actually having a discussion with what's his face? His name is going to continue. RGF. That's who it was.
Yeah.
In the Discord, and it was. I said something along the lines of it was always going to be either Tank was too young or Loma was too old. You know, like those are the only two times. Yeah, like there was maybe a 1 year period where this fight could have been made and it would have been considered equal. But I mean, since the Teofimo loss, Loma's looked like pretty good. And I know he just fought Kambosos, right? And that he doesn't bring a lot to the table. But I mean, when you school someone that definitively for 12 rounds, like it says a lot. So, yeah, I think the fight could be interesting. I do worry about Loma's chin. Not that he's been hit very hard a lot, but he is on the wrong side of 35, and Tank has all-time power. So I do worry about that aspect of it. But I think the style matchup is going to be amazing.
Yeah, definitely. This is, I think it's like taking Frank Martin and his like athleticism and technical movements and such, and dialing that up. Because Lomachenko is just, he is the same cut, just better. And yeah, this is a fantastic matchup. I'm excited for it. Frank Martin at 135. I think he showed a lot. That he can handle a lot more than people gave him credit for previously. And I think he's a solid player in a very solid division. Do you think he has the goods to be a champion still?
Definitely. I mean, there's not a whole lot above him that I think would like definitively beat him. The only guy out there like that is maybe Shakur Stevenson. Even though I don't really rate Shakur that highly at this moment. Like other than that, like Tank probably, like, he's not going to fight Tank again, and Tank probably won't gather all the belts at 135. I think he's too kind of, he'll move back and forth as needed. He's not going to worry himself with undisputed. And then, you know, Loma's probably near the end of his career, so I don't see a whole lot of guys above him that, you know, could keep him away from a belt forever.
Yeah, just his like promotional alignment. He's signed with PBC, so there's not a whole lot. Like the WBO typically has the weakest champion of the four, and this is no exception. Baranchik is not great, but he's not going to get a shot at that belt. It's just not going to happen. WBC, Shakur Stevenson, possible. He can't get himself lined up for that one, but it's a matter of if Bob Arum wants to play ball with it. And WBA's Tank and IBF is Lomachenko.
He'll definitely have to wait. And he probably, after a loss like that, you probably want a couple tune-ups and take some time off. So he'll need the cards to get shuffled around for him till he gets his chance. But like, I mean, if he fought Baranchik or like Navarrete, like, I would be picking Frank Martin 100% against those guys.
Yeah, same. That's actually a good way to put it. If he fought Nav, that'd be pretty funny. Best timeline.
He'd do horrible things to Nav.
Nav's moving back to 130 after that. After he lost to Baranchik, fucking as he should.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he needs to move down there, so Inoue has got a name to beat when he finally moves up.
Good. Fantastic. Other fight on that card was the co-main was David Benavidez. He makes his debut at 175. Alexander Volzdik, not the best name. It was one of those pretty far removed from his best, and he doesn't get the stoppage. Pummels him for 12 rounds, but doesn't get the stoppage. What do you make of that?
Just that David's built for 168, right? Like, he's fine at 175, but like where his best stuff is at a lower weight division, I think. He didn't look particularly. I don't know. He wasn't. He was pretty doughy for 175, and I don't know if that's a. I know some people were joking about his genetics, like, oh, it's just he's got the fat gene in him. But whether it's that or it's probably not that. It's probably just a discipline or a programming thing. But either way, I think he's better suited to the lower division, and that's where he should be focusing his efforts.
Yeah, the lack of power, lack of previous
And
power.
I don't know if it was really a lack of power, because you have to give like, how do you pronounce his name?
Vozik?
Grozik, close enough. He has got a really extensive amateur career. Like, he was on the Ukrainian team with Usyk and Loma. Like, so he's fairly studied, and he's not been like. I know he got killed by Beterbiev, but that's like the only real damage in his career. So it's not like he was a scrub. Like, he was, at the very least, he was able to minimize a lot of the damage he took. So I don't know if I would really put that against Benavidez, but at the end of the day, it's just the right place for him is at super middleweight.
Yeah, I would agree with that. Even if you don't get the Canelo fight, I suppose you can still beat around the Canelo bush, kind of. I don't know if that I don't think that makes sense. My brain is cooked right now. All right. But enough boxing talk for now. If you want to hear more of that, B-sides. Boxing B-sides is where it's at. Be talking about that. I think we record again next week. But there's a release coming out this week. Okay. Oh, man. Lungs. Work, please. All right. Let's get some recaps in here. June 13th, just really quickly, in Connecticut, the PFL 2024 season is coming to a close. I finally sat down and figured out how that shit works, and it's just 2 fights, and then you get points based on the fights. It's not a whole lot of a season or tournament, but whatever. First rated Moldavsky at heavyweight, he loses to 7th rated Linton Vassell. Dakota Kicheva, who's rated first, she stops Chelsea Hackett, rated 7th. Those are the top lines. Like, if you want to see the rest, go. I have it on the website if you want to go look. It's luxmediashows.com. All right. On June 15th, at the Apex, had a fight night card. Was standard Apex fare, I suppose. Melquizael Costa, our good friend with the weird face and hair, he wins by submission in the third. RJ watch Julia Palastri loses. And all right, from the bottom up, Asu Almabayev beats Jose Johnson by UD. It's an interesting one. Like, at flyweight, and Johnson's like 6 feet tall. It's fucking weird, but Asu had the toolkit to make it work. Brady Heastand submits Garrett Armfield in 3. Sloppy but rugged. Lucas Almeida UD over Timmy Kuwamba. Miles Johns UD over Douglas Silva de Andrade. That was an entertaining one. And at the top, Tassaro Taira, rated 13th, stops Alex Perez, rated 5th at flyweight. Man, the only thing I really wanted to bring up about this one was the stoppage and how it happened. Pretty nuts. Taira was on top of Alex Perez, like wrapped on his back, while Alex was standing. Taira intentionally leans back to try to bring it to the ground, and it looked like something very serious happened to Alex's knee on the way down. It kind of bent in an odd way, and with that much weight on you, yeah, he was not okay immediately. Goodness, that looked like it hurt.
Yeah, as soon as he hit the ground, he was tapping.
Yep, that looked like it fucking hurt. He immediately calls for Pantoja, as one would expect. But I don't know. He looks like he has the goods. He seems like Taira is. He looks all right. I'll watch again if I see his name. Can say that at the least.
He's already. He won't get a title shot next. But he has jumped up into the fifth spot. Is it eight? I mean, that's a crazy rise.
Yeah, that's
for
a
him.
big
So
jump.
he's probably a fight away. He looks good, but it is hard to rate a performance where his opponent, like let's be honest, he blew out his ACL.
Yeah.
So not to say that he did nothing good in that fight, but it is, you do have a bit of an asterisk on that. We got to see a little more from you.
Yeah, like he was hittable, and he can, if you specialize in grappling, or if you're a better striker than him, like, you will probably get the upper hand. There were limitations. It was obvious that he's pretty new to the rankings. I think they're fast tracking him just to try to break into the Japan market. But yeah, I got to see more. He called Kai Kara-France and Pantoja by name. So, we'll see how that goes. All right. Moving down. June 21st. This one is another PFL season. Mads Burnell, the dude from fucking Denmark, he beats Clay Collard. Yeah. So that's great. Impa Kasanganay gets the doctor stoppage. Jacob Nadeau could not continue. Brent Primus submits Solomon Renfro in 3. And Patricky Pitbull also drops the ball. Drops a split decision to Bruno Miranda. So that's kind of fun. Quick stuff. On the 28th, this is a Friday, in the morning, there's a one Friday fights card. The main event is a kickboxing title match, and all the other the top fights on it are all Muay Thai or kickboxing. The co-main is Super Lek. Dude he's Rod Tang's like yin and yang. So Super Lek's definitely another beastly dude to keep an eye on. So that'll be fun if you want to watch people beat each other up in the morning. Featherweights and welterweights. There's a PFL event on the 28th as well. You can check all the fights on the website, so that's fun. And on the 29th, UFC 303, not at all what was originally billed. This is great. I don't know, is there anything in the early prelims worth pointing out, because there's two in the prelims that I do want to point out, but I don't know about the earlies.
I guess for like any really hardcore UFC fans, there's Andrei Arlovsky in the early prelims, as well as Michelle Waterson Gomez. Those are some of the vets, I guess, from the UFC. So I don't know if people are interested in that, then yeah, you can check it out.
All right, prelims. So in the last time that we had, I don't know, end of the year picks, my previous new prospect or whatever, new guy to watch was Diego Lopez. This time, this is my pick now, Peyton Talbot.
Yes.
Holy shit, man! Watch this kid. I'm telling you, watch this kid. If you're not, watch this kid. I'm telling you, this kid is special.
Yup.
There's definitely shades of Sean O'Malley style, not just personality, but the way he strikes is very, very long, very counterpunch heavy, very explosive. Just a really, really fun guy to watch.
Yeah, he's someone that's fun to watch too. He's not just good, but he's fun to watch as well.
Absolutely, and he's a fucking showman. He already has that flair about him. It's great. He's great to watch. If you're not watching, you should be. Joe Pyfer, just wanted to point him out because the man came from nothing and he'll remind you any chance he gets.
Cool.
Fun stuff. Main card here.
And you should also know another thing you need to always remember with Joe Pyfer is that he beat Francis Ngannou's punch cube numbers. So never
Yeah, right at the
forget.
center, yep.
Never forget.
Yeah.
That is some very serious, ultimate casual shit to say, Joe Pyfer. It's great.
Also in the prelims as well, the Cub Swanson and Andre Fili fight. That should be fireworks because of like clashing styles. That should be a good fight. And even the Charles Jourdain fight.
Okay.
That one should be decent too. Yeah. So the prelims are honestly like pretty stacked themselves. Like
Yeah.
they're pretty good.
All right, to the main card. Going from the bottom up, we have Ian Machado Gary. He has Machado because he hyphenated with his wife, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh no.
I think that's what it is. Like she's also whatever Machado Gary.
Yeah, I believe so.
It's great.
Yeah, this checks out with the guy who's a known cuck. So,
Open marriage or whatever.
yeah.
So he's fighting Michael Page. Is this a fraud check for Ian?
Or is it a fraud check for MVP? It only being his second UFC fight. So I mean, this is a good fight.
Well, I don't know if it's a fraud check for MVP, but it might be just like an age check, right? Like just at this point in his career, how elite is he still? So it is very. This is a tough one to call. Like I think I'm riding with MVP just because like I'm not gonna pick Gary. I just don't like the guy, and I genuinely do think he's gonna have trouble with MVP striking, but this really is a go either way fight. It's not an easy pick by any means.
Yeah, I think they were pretty smart, like opening the main card with this fight. Like this is like one of the top three. I don't know, maybe like the fourth most exciting fight on this card. But like the style matchup is just so perfect. Like we know it's gonna be a good fight even before we watch it. And then like there's a lot at stake here for both of these guys. Like they're in a position to prove that they can, or that they need to be discussed during title shot conversations. Like this fight is really important for both of them. I'm also riding with MVP. I think his like style is just so awkward. Like, we'll see if Gary can deal with it.
Moving up, Mayra Bueno Silva versus Macy. I think this is Chiasson. I'm gonna say if you need to go out and get food or something, this is the time to do it. I've seen more of Mayra Bueno Silva's fights than I want to admit. Just this is your chance to go do whatever it is that you need to do that you forgot to do before the card. Do it then.
Yeah.
And if you run over a little bit on time, Anthony Smith versus Roman Dolidze. I'm just not sure what Anthony Smith has left to do, or why he's still doing this. I don't get it.
Yeah,
This,
Go ahead.
I was just gonna say like this light heavyweight like slot for this card, it was cursed. Like from the start of, or the infancy of this card. Like it has switched fighters so many times, and then we ended up like if you would have told me we would have ended with Anthony Smith and Roman Dolidze here at the beginning, I would not have believed you, but here we are.
Yeah, because it was Jamal Hill versus Khalil Roundtree, and then it was Jamal Hill versus Carlos Ulberg. Then it was Anthony Smith versus Carlos Ulberg, and now it's Anthony Smith versus Roman Dolidze.
Yeah.
So this is like, I mean, I guess I'll pick Anthony Smith for this, but like, I mean, I don't know what to make of this fight. I don't know how much it reflects on either guy, win or lose. Like, I mean, this has just really been a whirlwind of a fight set up for this to come to fruition. So,
Yeah.
Anthony Smith being the good company man that he is, stepping in on short notice.
Yep.
All right, co-main. This is for me personally, this is the main event. Brian Ortega versus Diego Lopez. Goodness gracious. I'm excited for this one. I'm excited for this. I cannot give an objective description of this because all I know is that Diego Lopez is going to win. That's all I can really say. So, Brian Ortega, nice knowing you. Anybody else?
Yo, talk about it. Do what now?
No, anyone else able to weigh in on that, more even keeled?
Well, I do think this is a stepping stone for Lopez, and I think he's going to succeed. This is not the first time he's come in on short notice, and he's previously been able to perform very well. He's got to be careful about the grappling. Like, that's Ortega's strong suit. That's what he can, no matter how much time he has to prepare, that's going to be his strong point, is his ground game. But if he can keep it standing, I mean, he's got such an amazing opportunity in front of him. So I think he'll pull it off. And, unfortunately for Ortega, that's like, I just don't, even if he wins this fight, I don't see him being much in this division. I think he's just like a veteran guy to eventually get knocked out in a championship fight or by a rising contender like Diego Lopez here. So I think he's definitely past his prime, and he's not going to respond to short notice as well as this younger kid.
Diego is the gym that Grasso trains out of. He's the main grappling coach for that gym. Yeah,
this fight is actually pretty close in all aspects of the fight, like grappling wise. Like, I think even because sometimes grappling can get boring if they're like just holding on sometimes, but this fight, like the type of grappling we're gonna see, should be like active.
Yeah,
like they're gonna be like scrambling a lot. Might even see like a lot of submission attempts. Like it's gonna be wild. And then the striking is also gonna be fun because you know Diego Lopez is gonna bring it.
Yeah,
on the striking too. Yeah, we're rocking with Lopez though.
And then main event, Alex Pereira comes in with the rematch with Yuri Proska. Does this go? I think this goes differently from the first, right? It's obviously not as quick, but I don't know. What do you?
Oh man, part of me says that Yuri's gonna win this one, and we're gonna get a trilogy. But just on paper, like, Pereira's the more technical striker, and Yuri's gonna try, like, even in the Rakic fight, I mean, he's still gonna be unorthodox in ways that leave him like wide open, and he's basically banking on his chin to hold up until he can find his range, and I don't think it will. So I want to say Yuri, but man, I can't, even on short notice, I can't go against Alex in this fight, man. I think AP's too good.
Yeah, I agree with that assessment. Like, Yuri relies a lot on his chin in fights. Like, that's almost exclusively his defense technique. But you just cannot do that with Pereira. You cannot do that with him. Like, if you get kicked a few times, you might be able to take one. I mean, we saw him in the last fight. He did take some, but it's not something you want to risk. So, I mean, I think Alex is still going to win this fight. But it's going to be fireworks, and both of these guys are legends for doing this on short notice for us to save the card.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, this is going to be a really, really fun fight, even if I feel like the outcome is mostly decided. Like, I mean, I'm not going to be sitting here in 2 weeks acting shocked if, like, AP gets head kicked and that's the fight. Like, Yuri has so much offense going for him. Like, he has the power to knock out anyone. Like, the card could definitely, or the fight rather, could end up definitely going that way. But even if I don't think it will, it's going to be really fun up until the end, I think.
Yeah, and like, fans of both sides should not be sad. Like, I'm rooting for Alex. I'm rocking with him, but I mean, if he loses, worst case scenario, we get a trilogy.
Oh, woe is me.
We get a trilogy.
We have to do it again.
Yeah. The only person that loses out is Mr. Ankalaev. the only person.
Yeah, although he is kind of the architect of his own doom
Yeah.
there, because he refuses to fight outside of Saudi Arabia.
Really?
Yeah,
That's
he was
what
there.
it seems.
He was there last night, I think. I feel like I remember them.
Yeah, I think they panned
showing
to
them
him.
on camera.
I don't know. It could be something like a visa issue, but like when he called out Alex Pereira, he said we have to fight in Saudi Arabia, and Alex is like, "What the fuck you mean we're fighting in Saudi Arabia? Who made you the champ?"
Yeah, who
you
the
know?
fuck are you to tell me where we're gonna fight?
Yeah.
Exactly. And so he might be iced out because of, it could be his own ego, or it could just be like he genuinely can't fight outside of the Arab Emirates. I don't know.
Saudi Arabia or UAE. There's really his only options. I don't know if they've ever done events elsewhere. Maybe Qatar could host, but
Yeah, no, it would be Saudi Arabia now that, Riyadh season is every season.
oh, it is.
So-
They don't close it anymore.
Yeah.
Nice.
I don't think so.
Yeah. Oh goodness. All right. Anything more on 303? Peyton Talbot, put your money down now. We will be punching fan cards during the event, before, during, and after. So, join the club now. Just my fucking luck, Peyton Talbot's gonna get sparked in like 30 seconds or something, but it's just the way it goes. It's not gonna happen, but
It better not. That would be very unfortunate for Talbot.
I would be very upset if that did happen. I don't know. I'm trying to think. There are. It's weird how before I started watching UFC, I paid a lot more attention to really low level boxing stuff, and you get these weird fixations where you just kind of latch on to somebody and you like them, and it doesn't matter how much they suck, you continue to watch because you want them to succeed so much. And for me, that was it still is Troy Isley, the middleweight guy with Top Rank, and Peyton Talbot hasn't shown any limitations or anything. He hasn't given me any reason to doubt him. But I don't know. I've hitched myself onto this young man, and I'm fucking going for the ride wherever it goes. I'm ready for it. Ready for the heartbreak. All right, that's it for 303. And that's it for the episode. This has been the Ultimate Fucking Casual. Much appreciated having you listen all the way through, if you did. If you want to check us out on social media, LVX Media Net. It's a handle for every show that's on the Lux Media Network. That's the account. So you're going to see more than just MMA or boxing we talk about here sometimes, but you get the idea. If you have any questions or comments, concerns, whatever the fuck about this episode, this show, anything else on Lux Media, 833-589-7637. It's an anonymous line, unattended line. So if you want your audio cut in, you can call, go straight to voicemail, and I can mix your audio into the show, or text, whatever the fuck, that's fine too. It's 833-LUX-PODS. So there you go. If you want to check out some of those other shows, luxmediashows.com. That's where you can get everything. Otherwise, we will be back shortly to... There's other stuff next week. Not a whole lot, though. It's an empty weekend, so we'll figure it out. But we'll see you then.